So in the last class, we discussed about addressing of standard Ethernet. So it is of 6 byte size, that is totally 48 bits. So 6 bytes will be divided into 6 octals. Every octal is represented in the hexadecimal number. As you see the notation, the Ethernet addressing, that is every octal will be represented in the form of a hexadecimal number. Now next one is unicast, multicast and broadcast. See, this one has been discussed in the class itself. What is unique casting? That is unicasting, multicasting, broadcasting. So according to unicasting, you are supposed to send to a dedicated destination and a source will be there. So only one way connection, that is one-to-one relation will be there. So multicasting is nothing but there will be group of stations will be there. Among them, you will be selecting a particular more than one stations will be sent messages, and according to the broadcast, messages will be sent to all the stations in a particular network. Okay, so this is about unicast, multicast and broadcast. See, we discussed in the last class also. Now coming to the how we are going to access this Ethernet. The accessing of Ethernet LAN will be LAN will be made by using a protocol called as CSMA-CD. Now, what is CSMA-CD? I will not explain once again. It has been explained earlier. That is, it is one kind of a carry and sense multiple access with a collision detection algorithm or collision detection protocol by using a one persistent method. Okay, one persistent method of accessing a CSMA-CD. So next, coming to the different types of categories which have been made in the Ethernet standards. So they may be 10 base 5, 10 base 2, 10 base T, and 10 base F. So these are the different types of categories which have been made according to the standard which has been defined by IEEE to a standard Ethernet. How we are going to communicate or how a Ethernet can be established by using different categories. So the first category is 10 base 5. Second category is 10 base 2. Next one is 10 base T. And the fourth one is 10 base F. Now, what is this 10 base 5, 10 base 2, 10 base T, 10 base 5? We will be discussing. Don't worry about that. So 10 is nothing but the maximum speed. It denotes the speed at which a particular connection can be accessed. And there will be a base. Base is nothing but a baseband. That is the default capacity of a connection. So there will be a base bandwidth will be there, and the 5 will be denoting the connection area, that is to what extent the workstations can be added, to what extent we can extend our systems which have been connected in those bandwidth. So this is about, I will discuss in detail, don't worry about that. So the overview of it is that the standard Ethernet is categorized into 4 categories, that is 10 base 5, 10 base 2, 10 base T, and 10 base F. Now we will see what is that one. Now coming to the 10 base 5, this is a cable. It is very much thick. Actually, it uses a thick cable and it is hard to bend with your hands. And you observe here, it is a 10 means the speed at which a connection can be accessed. The base is nothing but the base band width, and phi means to what extent, that is the area which it covers or the cable it covers, how many connections can be established within that one. So 10 base 5 was the first Ethernet specification to use a bus topology. Okay, it uses a topology called as a bus, and it has an external transmitter or receiver connected through the coaxial cable, thick coaxial cable. Okay, so that it can detect collisions, because it uses a access medium called as a CSMA CD. So 10 base 5 implementation is represented as something like this. That is, it will be a cable end, and you observe here there is a cable, thick coaxial cable, which is drawn. And okay, there will be some kind of a transceivers, receivers will be there, and there will be stations which have been connected through is. Okay, this is what demonstration of a 10 by 5. And coming to the 10 base 2, it is a thin Ethernet. What is thick? Thick is a very hard one. Thin is very soft when compared to the thick one. So 10 base 2. So 2 denotes here 200 meters, 185 to 200 meters. And it is very much thinner when compared to the 10 base 5 category. And one more thing, it is more flexible when compared with 10 base 5. 10 base 2 is more flexible because of its thinner nature. The cable can be easily bent to like anything. The transceiver, now coming to the transceiver, is normally part of the NIC interface card which is installed inside the station. So, but according to the 10 base 5, the transceivers is nothing but a transmitter and a receiver. Transceivers are nothing but a transmitter and a receiver which is installed in a particular station according to 10 base 5. Okay. But according to 10 base 2, it will be available with the NIC card. Okay, NIC card. NIC card is nothing but the network interface card, which is defaultly available when you purchase a particular PC. It will be coming with your NIC card, and the NIC card itself we will be installing. That is already a transceiver will be installed. That is transmitter as well as receiver will be installed inside it. And it is a thin coaxial cable. According to 10 base 2, it is a thin coaxial cable, and it is very much less expensive than with thick coaxial cable. And when compared with the 10 base 5, it is very flexible. Now coming to the 10 base T. So 10 base T is nothing but a T. In the previous two categories, we have seen 5 and 2, but whereas here we are using a T alphabet. So T stands for Twisted Pair Ethernet. So it uses a star topology. Okay, first two uses a bus topology. First two categories will use a bus topology, whereas 10 base T will use a star topology. The stations that are connected to a hub via two pairs of twisted cable. Okay, twisted pair cables will be there. So there will be pairs of cables in a single cable. The maximum length of a twisted pair cable used is 100 meters. Two pairs of twisted cables creates two paths, one for sending and one for receiving, between the stations and the hub. So what is in here? It is using one kind of a hub so that it can be connected to different stations. So what happens here is one, there will be twisted cable, as it has been mentioned, there are two pairs of twisted pair cables, one for sending and one for receiving for the stations, between the stations. So, and you observe here it is a 10 Mbps speed at which a connection can be accessed, and it has a baseband that is 100 Mbps. Every connection will have a maximum speed to which a connection can be accessed, the speed at which it can be accessed. And T will be a twisted cable with of 100 meters size. And there will be a central hub which will be through which we will be accessing the stations. And next comes 10 base F, the fiber Ethernet. So the most common fiber optic cable will be used with a speed of 10 Mbps, and it uses a star topology to connect stations to a hub. The stations are connected to the hub using two fiber optic cables. Okay. So this is about the categories of standard Ethernets, that is 10 base 5, 10 base 2, 10 base T, 10 base F. So when you observe or you examine each and every one category, that is 10 by 5 uses a bus topology. Similarly, 10 base 2 uses a bus topology, whereas 10 base T and 10 base F uses a star topology. So this is what about the categories of standard Ethernets are there. So now coming to the changes which have been made in the standards. Okay, there are different types of changes have been made from time to time to increase the accessing of stations over the Ethernet. So the changes are bridged Ethernet, switched Ethernet, and full duplex Ethernet. So these are different changes which have been applied to the 10 Mbps standard Ethernet that has gone through several changes in it. See, one thing is to understand that the standard Ethernet which has been defined by IEEE standard 802.3. So according to that standards, this Ethernet is going to be accessed in several ways, and in due course, there are several changes have been made to this Ethernet. So according to that, how we are going to access in the future also they have been designed. So according to that one, the changes have been made to the standard Ethernet in three ways, that is bridged Ethernet, switch Ethernet, full duplex Ethernet. Now coming to the one by one, bridged Ethernet. Here the LAN connectivity is divided by bridges. Okay, a LAN connectivity is divided by bridges, and it has two effects. Okay, and it has two effects. Bridges will show two types of effects on Ethernet. First one is raising the bandwidth, and the second one is separating the collision domains. So what happens here is, according to the bridge Ethernet, the LAN will be divided into two sections. Let us say that if it has 12 stations which are connected to a common channel. Now what happens here is, it will be dividing that LAN into two equal sections. Let us say that 6 is one side and 6 one side, and in between there will be a bridge. Okay, through which we are trying to connect all these stations. So what is the purpose of the bridge? The bridge purpose is to raise the bandwidth. Raising the bandwidth, what is that one? We will see that one. And the second one is separating the collision domains. So what happens here is, whenever a station is trying to or involved in the collision, that will be separated from it. So that is the responsibility of the bridge. So raising the bandwidth. So what happens here is, in this, let us say that a connection which has been divided into two sections using the bridge, just now I told you. Let us say that the connection capacity is 10 Mbps speed, And let us say that it will be shared by 6 stations at one end and 6 stations in the other end. So totally 12 stations are there. They are shared among this 10 Mbps speed. And dividing the network means we can gain the more bandwidth for each segment. So which acts as a station alone. So what happens here is, whenever a bridge has been used, so what happens here is a network is divided into 2 or more networks, and bandwidth is also independent from each network. Okay, network is divided into 2 or more networks using bridge, and bandwidth is also independent from each network. So according to the network with the 12 stations divides into 2 networks, each with the 6 stations, and each network has a capacity of 6 stations of 10 Mbps. So this 10 Mbps capacity is shared in between 6 stations and also the bridge, but not the 12 stations. So it means that out of 12 stations, the network is divided into 2 sections. So the 10 Mbps speed will be accessed by 6 stations only. And after that, the purpose of bridge is to raise the bandwidth. So raise the bandwidth is nothing but 10 Mbps will be increased more so that the other stations also access it. So next one, separating the collision domains. So the next advantage of using bridge is the separation of the collision domain. Collision domains becomes much smaller using bridges, and the probability of collision is reduced tremendously. So what happens here? If bridges have been used, so there will be some kind of a sections will be made. So those who are involved, let us say that a station which is involved in the collision, that will be separated from the normal axis. So that is what the responsibility of the bridge. Next one is switched Ethernet. That is the second change which has been made. Now bridge LAN is extended to a switched LAN. So bridge is extended to switch. So what happens here is bridge is replaced by the switch. So what happens here is the bandwidth is shared in between stations and the switch with the 5 Mbps each. So it provides a fast Ethernet. Okay. So what is happening? 10 Mbps speed will be categorized and shared between the stations which have been connected through the switch. Okay. If the switch is nothing but it is one kind of a device where we have supposed to connect to several stations, and it is one kind of a transmitter and receiver also. So what happens here is the capacity is 10 Mbps, but what is happening individually, every station is getting 5 Mbps each at a time, only at a time. So that is what happens with the speed of each stations. Next, full duplex Ethernet. So as you know, full duplex is nothing but it is replaced. Switched Ethernet is full duplex, that is transmitting and receiving will be done both ends. Half duplex is nothing but only one way we are communicating, but a full duplex is nothing but both way we can communicate. The full duplex Ethernet increases the capacity of the domain from 10 to 20 Mbps. So one-way communication 10 Mbps, the next one is 10 more. So this is what happens with the full duplex Ethernet. Now coming to the fast Ethernet. Fast Ethernet. What is that fast Ethernet? So it is one more variety which is available in the Ethernet that can transmit the data 10 times faster than at the normal rate of the 100 Mbps. So what exactly the goal of the fast Ethernet is? Upgrade the data rate to 100 Mbps, make it compatible with the standard Ethernet, keep the same 48-bit addressing, keep the same frame format, and to keep the same minimum and maximum frame lengths. So you observe here 802.3 U. It is denoting the fast Ethernet. So this Ethernet is making the normal standard Ethernet to be upgraded with more data rate speeds, and that are the goals which have been mentioned here. So that is upgrading the 10 Mbps speed to 100 Mbps, and also making this Ethernet, that is a fast Ethernet, which is denoted and according to 802.3 U. So it is making the standard Ethernet compatible with it. It means that it is using the same standards which have been used in the standard Ethernet, that is keeping the addressing it to 48 bits and the frame format also, and also the minimum and maximum frame lengths, that is 1500 bytes. Next, fast Ethernet, actually it removed the bus topology and it has been regained its status by using a star topology. And according to the star topology which has been used in the fast Ethernet, it has two choices, that is half duplex and full duplex. So according to the half duplex in the star topology, it is one directional. Stations are connected via the hub. Okay. So what is happening? If you want a connection to be in a half duplex, then use hubs. If it is in full duplex, that is bidirectional, that is two-way communication has to happen, then it will use a switch. So what is the accessing method of this Ethernet? The accessing method of this Ethernet is CSMA CD. And a new feature is added to the fast Ethernet called as auto negotiation. So what is auto negotiation? Which is a new feature which is added to the fast Ethernet when compared with the standard Ethernet. So according to the new feature that is called as auto negotiation, it allows the two devices to negotiate the mode, the data rate of the stations. And also it allows one device to have multiple capabilities. Similarly, it allows a station to check a hub's capabilities. So next one, common fast Ethernet implementation. So fast Ethernet implementation can be done in three ways. That is 100 base TX, 100 base FX, 100 base T4. So according to this fast Ethernet, see, you observe here, there is a difference between 10 base 5, 10 base 2, 10 base T and 10 base F. So this is a fast Ethernet, that is a standard Ethernet. Okay, don't confuse yourself. So what is the specialty of fast Ethernet? Fast Ethernet specialty is to increase the speed 10 times more than the standard Ethernet. So standard Ethernet, according to standard Ethernet, it will be 10 Mbps. But whereas in the fast Ethernet, it is 100 Mbps. That is what the thing which we are discussing here. So the common fast Ethernet implementations are done in three ways. That is 100 base TX, 100 base FX, 100 base T4. So according to 100 base TX, it uses a 2 wires category with 500 meters unshielded twisted pair cables. It uses a cable called as unshielded twisted pair cable and shielded twisted pair cables also. Now according to the 10 base FX, it uses a fiber optical cable. Okay, so there are different types of categories of cable are here. According to 100 base TX, it is using a category 5 unshielded twisted pair cable, whereas 10 base T4 uses a category 4 unshielded twisted pair cables. So how many wires it needs? According to the TX, 100 base TX, it uses 2 wires. Now, whereas 100 base FX also uses 2 fiber cables, fiber optical cables, whereas T4 uses 4 cables. So according to the length, what is the length of the cables? That is 100 meters. According to TX, FX, and T4, all of them are 100 meters long. So encoding will be the 4 bits per 5, and there is no encoding scheme for the 100 base T4. Next one is, so this is a fast Ethernet. I will overview this one once again. That is, fast Ethernet can transmit the data 10 times faster than the normal rate of 100 Mbps. So the goals of the fast Ethernet are upgrading the speed up to 100 Mbps and making it compatible with the standard Ethernet. And also, it keeps the same address format of 48 bits. 48 bits means that is physical addressing 6 bytes, actually 6 bytes. Each byte of octal representation will be hexadecimal number. Next, it will keep the same frame format, that is preamble, SOF, destination address, source address, data packets, CRC. Next one is keeping the same minimum and maximum length frames. And next one, fast Ethernet dropping its bus topology and increasing its capacity by using a star topology. And according to the star topology, it has 2 choices. Either it can be using both of them, that is half duplex and full duplex. If it is using a half duplex, then a hub will be used. If it is using a full duplex, then it will be approaching a switch. And an access method which is used in the fast Ethernet is CSME CD, that is CSMA CD. And new feature is added in the fast Ethernet is the auto negotiation. That is, there is a compromise between the stations in terms of mode of accessing and the speed. Okay, and it makes the devices to know the hub's capabilities and its own capabilities also. And the fast Ethernet can be implemented in 3 ways. That is 100 base TX, 100 base FX, and 100 base T4. So according to the TX, it will use 2 wires of unshielded twisted pair cable of category 5. Next, coming to the 100 base FX, 2 wires of fiber optical cable will be used. And whereas 100 base T4, it will use 4 wires, 4 wires of category 4 unshielded twisted pair cables. So this is a summary between different types of implementations of fast Ethernet. Next one is gigabit Ethernet. So there are different types of Ethernets are there. So this is about fast Ethernet. So in the coming classes, I will try to explain the things once again if anyone who doesn't understand this way. So I will explain this one with the help of a board or any pen or paper. I will try to make you understand, because I think most of them are missing the offline mode of understanding the things. So I will try maximum and explain you with the help of a board in online mode only, if it is possible. Otherwise, we will continue like this only. If you have any doubts, you can message me. Okay, if you have any doubts, please message me. I will send you the notes. Go through the notes. If you have any doubts, you can message me, text me, or call me. Okay. So this is all for today. Thank you one and all.